Right guys, we're going to talk about the nurse add-ons. There we go. We're talking about the nurse add-ons, right? So there's not very many nurse add-ons that are good. There's really not. There's really not. Right, so we're going to start with Fragile Wheeze. Right, so for those that don't know, Fragile Wheeze inflicts Mangled when you blink on someone. It needs to be a blink attack. It's very strong. It's actually a very strong add-on. I would put this in S tier. A tier, sorry, A tier. Mangled is slow down. It's actually so solid. Like, this is amazing. This is actually amazing. This is a solid A tier for me. Matchbox. Honestly, I'd say this is C tier. Like, it's an array, it's not the best. It's really not the best. It's, for those that don't know, it gives you 4.4 movement speed, always, so like, you're the speed of a Huntress, always. Or Trickster, or whatever. Any 110 killer. Matchbox, I'm gonna put it in C tier. I'm gonna put it in C tier. C tier, yeah. It's not the best. I'm also going to put Spasmodic and C tier as well. It's real. Honestly, I don't know if I would even put it in D tier. Yeah, I'm going to put it in D tier. I'm going to put it in D tier. I'm going to put this in D tier just because it literally contradicts like Nurse as a whole. Like, you know, like if you blink on someone, you hit someone, like, yeah, you might be fast, right? But again, if a survivor's smart. Oh wait, Trickster's 4.6. Yeah, sorry, I forgot the buff Trickster. If the survivor's smart, they're not gonna, they're just gonna drop stuff. If they see a really fast Nurse, and they know that it's not Matchbox, it's going to be this add-on, right? But then again, not a lot of survivors actually know about this add-on that Nurse has, right? So, like, not every, like, Nurse, like, would run this, right? If you want to have fun and be a walking M1 Nurse, then this is an add-on to use, yeah. Right, so White Knit Comb, we know where this is going. This is going in D tier. This is a D tier add-on. This literally makes your entire game harder, right? For those that don't know, this is the add-on that reduces your blink lunge by 50%. So yeah, this is definitely a D tier, right? So this is Dull Bracelet. Dull Bracelet is also D tier, 100%. It reduces what is it, like your like range for like 20%, right? It reduces range by 20%, which is, yeah, that's going in D tier. Right, the horse. This is the one that decreases fatigue, right? I think this is the one that decreases fatigue, and it doesn't belong in D tier because it reduces fatigue duration, right? So it's not noticeable, like very noticeable, but I wouldn't put it in D tier because it's not entirely useless. Like, it's not like, yeah, like these deserve to be in D tier, but I think horse maybe should be in C tier because like it's literally, there's no downside. The only downside to running it is that you could be running another add-on, right? Anxious Grass, is this the one that this is Anxious, right? As Anxious Gasp or some shit. This is the one where when you blink over a survivor, the survivor screams. You get extra blood points. You get extra blood points, which is fine. This add-on, honestly, I'd put this in D tier. Honestly, like you get blood points, yeah, sure, and like. Again, there's not very many add-ons that like are up here on Nurse, like, so I'm gonna put that in C tier because unless you want people screaming at you and stuff like that. So Pinecone. Pinecone is a solid fucking A tier for me. It's solid A, high B. Pinecone's good. I really like Pinecone. I think Pinecone. I think I put it in B. I think I'll put it in B. It's solid. It's solid. Like, it's a really solid add-on. It's solid. Like, obviously, like Mangled and stuff like that. That's strong. Like. This, I think, belongs in B tier. For those that don't know, it reduces like your blink fatigue duration, right? But what is it, like 65% or some shit? Yeah, extra fatigue from chain blinks. Sorry. The main thing there being is chain blinks. Yeah, sorry, I should have mentioned that. So it decreases your extra fatigue from chain blinks, which is it's pretty strong. It's pretty strong. Campbells. It is Campbells. Campbells. I'm a little bit biased because Campbells is like. Campbells is arguably her hardest add-on to master. I would say this is her hardest add-on. And the reason I say this is because, like, if you don't nine your blinks, you'll just end up fucking yourself up, like, so bad. Like, if you don't learn the muscle memory of Campbell's, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. So for an experienced Nurse, I would say this is high S tier, like, honestly. Like, this is an S tier add-on for me, like, literally. Like, I feel like high tier Nurses will get a lot more value out of this add-on than, like, any other add-on, obviously. Like, but, like, Campbell's to me, because I can control it, feel like it's S tier. Like, genuinely, I feel like that is an S tier add-on. Like, it's actually insane. Like, the fact that you can go 40 meters in, like, the blink of an eye is really powerful. It's really strong in small maps, like Midwich. Like, it's really strong in Midwich. You can literally go from, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you can just blink to the other side of the hallway. Like, it doesn't matter. RPD, I love this add-on on RPD. It's fucking insane. I can go for the east wing to the west wing to east, like, pretty fast. So I think for me personally, this is an S tier add-on. Flannel. Flannel, I'm gonna put in C tier. I'll put it in C tier. I'm not gonna put it in D tier because it's not entirely useless. It's amazing to learn if you're starting Nurse. It's extremely useful. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in C tier. This would be in C tier. Again, it gives you a lot of vital information where, like, Like if you're starting out with Nurse, you can learn like the blink locations of certain things. Like it's good for maps as well if you want to go that extra mile and like learn maps and like what you can and can't blink through and stuff like that. Like collision, like eerie stairs for example. The eerie stairs are like you can't blink through them. Like there's some parts of the game where you can't blink through as well, and it's good to like know what those are. Hawkins as well. Hawkins is another good one. There are certain things that you can't blink through, and the Flannel's really good for that. Campbell, yeah, like you need to charge. It takes a lot of like, yeah, you need to actually charge it. Like so, you need to 99 your blink cart if you don't want the second blink. If you fully charge your blink with Campbells, your aim is to get distance. Like I'll only use Campbells to get distance mainly. Sometimes I'll get a really good like clean blink with Campbells, but like usually it's never intentional. Like Campbells is for distance. The fact that you can cover 40 meters really quickly is very strong. Alright, watch. What's it called again? Like that official name is like Pocket Watch or some shit, isn't it? Pocket Watch, yeah, Pocket Watch. So this one again increases the time before the nurse succumbs to fatigue, which is so yeah, like this was really strong in the 2v8. And 2v8 it was really strong. I actually didn't realize how strong this add-on actually is. It's pretty strong. Survivors don't really know. Like they're used to the nurse, like she does her blink right, and then like she'll have that little grace period, and then she'll go, huh, right, you get that, add 20% on that, like it's actually quite a lot. Like 20% doesn't seem a lot, it's actually a lot. And so again, like see if you pair this with heavy panting, it can give you like a chance to like maybe like reposition or like hold it just a little bit longer because you can move. Like you can still actively move when you're holding your hand out like and about to fatigue, right? So I would say this is a B tier add-on. I would put it in B tier. Again on 2v8 it was very strong because I noticed it. Like I noticed because I was like, wait, I'm not fatigued. Like obviously like that was part of our buffs. But this is not the worst like this is probably one of our stronger add-ons, honestly. Like yeah, I would say that this belongs in B tier. Right, so Jenners. Honestly, I'm so biased to this add-on. I wouldn't say it's an S tier add-on just because like if you go up against good survivors, is very counterable. If you go up against a team that knows what you're running, you're pretty much fucked. Like because all it takes is a W key. Like if the survivor's really clever, you won't get value out of Jenners. But right, Jenners is amazing for holding free gens. It's amazing for camping hooks if you choose to do that. It's literally amazing. It's amazing in this way that if you basement hole yourself, you can just go back. You can just go back. Like you can literally just go back. Like this is the ultimate like tracer add-on, right? You just rewind. You just rewind yourself. So I think this is solid A tier. Like this is a solid A tier add-on. I would put it in S tier, but again, it's highly counterable. Like obviously I pair these two together. If we're talking about paired add-ons, this would be this. Like if we were talking about like if we were pairing, like if we were like I would put this in S tier just because like I pair it with Campbells. But on its own, I would put it in A tier. Wooden spoon. Let me see. So this one again is really, yeah, hitting a survivor. Yeah, like it's like Strider, right? It's like a base kit Strider, well, sort of thing. I really don't see the use for this, honestly. Like I really don't see the use for this. I'm putting this in D tier. There's not much really to be said for this. I'm trying to think of a use where survivor grunts would be useful. Out of my thousands of hours on Nurse, I don't think I would ever run this add-on. Bookmark. Now this is interesting. Bookmark's an interesting one. For those that don't know, Bookmark gives you an additional blink, so 3 blinks. Bookmark, I wouldn't put it in A tier, I wouldn't put it in S. Honestly, I don't know if I would put it in B tier, honestly, as well. Again, it really depends what you pair this with. If you pair this with, say, Badmans or like, I don't know, like you can pair it with Campbells. You can pair it with Campbells, it would be really strong. Campbell, yeah, if you pair it with Campbells and you're able to put up with the fatigue duration, then good on you. But I don't know if the downside of having the like additional fatigue duration makes up for just your normal blinks. Again, it's really hard to place this because this one add-on depends on what you pair it with. I'm going to put it in C tier. I think both the areas are pretty mid. Like honestly, they're just below mid. You could put, I would move this up to B tier if we're judging it by like what it's paired with. But on its own, I think it's C tier. It's very punishing as well. It's extremely punishing if you don't know how to use it properly. So I think it belongs in C tier. Our area add-ons are really whack. They're not the best add-ons. Tooth is a solid B tier for me, honestly. I would actually, honestly, maybe even put this in A tier. Actually, yeah, I'm going to put this in A tier. The reason I put it in A tier is because it's basically Nurse's Calling, right? It's extremely powerful, and it doesn't, like, this synergizes with everything, pretty much, other than these shitty ones down here. But see, you take this with Jenners, you take this with Fragile, like, this in Fragile is extremely strong, like, very strong, because you're going to get notified when they're healing. They have Sloppy on, so, like, it's extremely strong. Badmans? We all know how I feel about Badmans, right? We literally all know how I feel about Badmans. Badmans is S tier. Badmans is an S tier for me. And the reason I put it in S tier is because people don't expect it. People don't expect this add-on. And an undetectable Nurse is fucking terrifying. The amount of times I have had grabs, the amount of times I've had M1s just free is ridiculous. Like, genuinely, if you pair this with Heavy Panting, you pair this with Cone, you pair this with Tooth, sorry, Cone, Tooth, you pair this with any of these top add-ons, it's so strong. To me, Badmans is so underrated. It's so incredibly underrated that it's so fucking strong. It's 30 seconds where you're undetectable. Again, like, I don't know how many times I have got so many free hits because of this add-on. Like, Badmans is insane. If you're just starting out, you can use Badmans. Like, it's very beginner friendly. It's extremely beginner friendly. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. But yeah, so this one is the this reduces base fatigue by 7%. What's the name of this one again? It's Ataxic, right? Ataxic, yeah, Ataxic. Ataxic, Respiration, Ataxic. We're going to call it Ataxic. Ataxic Respiration is a W. I think I would put it as an A tier. I wouldn't put it like any lower than, well, again, it's not really that noticeable. I think maybe B tier, maybe B tier. 7% is not, like, honestly, I've run it myself like quite a few times, 6, and I don't really notice it that much. I'm going to put this in B tier. You don't really notice it. No, you don't really notice it. I would rather run a different add-on. Like, I don't think I've ever had a clip with this add-on, and I have tried that add-on. Like, I remember like actively trying to try this add-on because I was like, wait, 7% is pretty. Holy shit, 7% chat. Like, and I remember giving it a few games and I was like, I really don't notice it. I really don't notice it. So because I don't notice it, I am going to put it in B tier. It's good, like, in the terms of like, well, it gives you 7%, right? Honestly, like, I don't know if I would even put it in C tier. No, I'll put it in C tier. C tier. All right, okay, final. It's final. It's in C tier. I'm locking it in C tier. It's in C tier. Heavy Panting. Chat, you want to take a wild guess where this goes? I want you guys to answer. You all know. You don't need me to explain this where this goes. MFT was 3% and it caused an outrage. 7% is not bad at all. Yeah, but like, again, like, that's what I mean. Like, it sounds a lot, but like, you don't really feel it. Like, me myself, like, let's play Nurse a long time. Like, I really don't see the difference, and I don't see the difference in it. Like, it's very, very, very minimal. Heavy Panting goes in S tier. Why? I've already spoke about this a million times. It's cracked as fuck. It's the crutch add-on, as people say. Oh, bro. Heavy Panting, it counters so much to start with, right? Let's start with the basics, right? You can counter life. You can counter pretty much every exhaustion perk. Pretty much, right? You can counter, like, it's extremely fucking strong in that regard that you can counter Heavy Panting. You can counter life, you can counter balance, you can counter so much because you get the extra additional 50% as well. It's fucking amazing. Nurse counters every exhaustion perk anyway. Nah, that's very untrue. We have to agree to disagree with that, Curious, because the amount of times I get lifed away, like, life is very, like, exhaustion perks are really strong against Nurse, like, extremely strong. Like, the amount of times people get distance from me because of the exhaustion perk. I get so outplayed sometimes because of life. Like, life is really, really strong. Life is extremely strong against Nurse and balance and stuff like that. Heavy Panting gives you the additional distance to catch up to them. It's extremely strong. It doesn't. Nah, you guys can sit and say that. Nah, exhaustion perks can hurt Nurse. Like, yeah, she can still catch up, but they can still hurt. They can still hurt. Like, I don't know how many times like someone's lifed away from me and they've literally got to the other side of the map, like, because of like all the FOV walkers, line of sight. Sorry. Heavy Panting is just insane. It's literally the best add-on to run. Only if you're good. I would never recommend this add-on to baby nurses. If you're a baby nurse, this add-on goes down here. Alright, if you're a baby nurse, you don't use this add-on. You don't use this add-on ever. I barely use this add-on these days. I'm literally doing a win streak without Heavy Panting. Like, I did most of all my videos without this add-on. Like, everybody shits on me for running this, but I'm quite comfortable not running this. But I can see the potential in it. It's fucking amazing. It's amazing. It's S tier and it goes here. It goes to the top. It goes to the top of S tier. Because again, it's our best add-on. It allows you to get some cheeky wee hits. It's extremely strong. It's extremely strong. Is it a C tier for baby nurses? Because you should never run it. You should never run it. If you're learning Nurse, you should never run Heavy Panting card. So it should, like, Heavy Panting should just go like off the complete, like, Heavy Panting is not an add-on you should ever run if you're learning Nurse. If you're learning Nurse, you will fuck up your muscle memory royally, and you shouldn't run Heavy Panting. Unless you plan to run Heavy Panting for every single game, then don't run it. And it's obviously, once you know that they've got Heavy Panting, then you play around it, right? If you're in a Swift, then obviously you call that out that she's swinging from Mars and she's getting hits that she shouldn't be getting. Anyway, so Kavanagh's. I don't have a problem with this. Like, Blind is really strong. Blind is really strong. Hey, Richie, there's nothing wrong with that. Tooth and Pinecone's solid. Tooth and Pinecone's really solid. Like, seriously. Kavanagh's is really, like, it kind of falls in, like, a really niche area, right? Because, like, you could counter windows and stuff like that, but you're a nurse. You know, like, people aren't really running to yellow when you're up against nurse, right? Like, surely no, right? I don't know, like, I feel like this is it's solid, like, blind is solid, right? Blind is solid, it's really, really good, and, like, I guess, like, for anybody that doesn't know what this add-on does, when you blink past the survivor, it gives them blindness. When you're in a range, when you're within a certain range, let me check the actual range. Oh, 8 meters, so when you succumb to a fatigue, sorry, any survivor within 8 meters of the nurse are afflicted with the blindness for 60 seconds. Blindness is strong, but I don't know if it's strong on nurse, if that makes sense. Maybe C tier. Yeah, I'm going to put it in C tier. I'm actually going to put that in C tier. Yeah, I'm going to lock that in C tier. Like, obviously, being blind, like, you can't see your teammates on hook as well. Like, it's not just to counter windows. It's, like, to counter, like, all their like, aura reading perks. I don't know. I don't think it. Yeah. The last add-on is, what's the name of this one called again? It's Dark Cincture, and it increases the movement speed after a blind. Yeah. Okay, so this pairs really well. Wait, no. Let me get one. This pairs really well with Stopwatch. So I'm going to put this in B tier. This is a B tier add-on. I'll put this in. Yeah. If this depends on what you pair it with. If you pair this with Stopwatch, it's really strong. But yeah, this is the tier list for add-ons on Nurse.